Alright guys, today we're going to be building an insane cheap loadout. This is something I've refined 2 or 3 times while thinking about what have I changed to a cheaper loadout myself. And honestly, like S2 Skins, knife and glove combo, the whole works in here. It's so damn good. And before we dive into it, I want to do the reminder that today is the last chance you can enter the giveaway for the Emperor ONS Nightmare, this video anyway. All you have to do is make sure you've hit the like button, be subscribed, and leave a comment down below. I'm going to pick the winner for this in a few days' time, and I'll announce it in Discord. So good luck to those entering, and let's tear through this absolutely stunning budget loadout. Now, I'm going to be honest, majority of the cost of this loadout is in the knife and glove combo, but we are going to get one. I've mentioned this before, but I think this combo right here is stunning. This is hand wraps, are real field tested, paired with a skeleton knife real forest in battle scarred. The gloves are $87, the knife is about $200 at the time of planning, prices are from the 4th of August, allowed for some variance there in the future, but overall, yes, we're going camo, but I just think this is such a nice combination. Obviously, the knife can get really nice animations, if I can get it to actually do the animations, that is. But either way, the blade looks sick. When you get the animations, it's super cool. And obviously, if you want to, you can change to any other real forest knife if you want to go more expensive or cheaper. But the gloves, field tested, kind of does the job here. There's no really need to change those. Like, when it comes to agents, I actually wanted some dedicated full green sleeves that were a bit different. Now, I know the green doesn't match perfectly, but I do like the FBI SWAT agent here, because $5 for this to get a green sleeve that actually sort of matches in, and you see when you're using weapons, I think looks pretty cool. And then on the T side, I did want to go sleeveless, which you can see here. I've gone for Professor Shamat from the Elite Crew. I actually quite like him, even when you see my red gloves here, how you look for a red loadout, because it is sleeveless, but with like the more neutral palette with some red accents. Kind of cool. He's $3, so we're only spending $8 on agents here, but they're both good value for money agents. Now, based on the knife and glove combo, you might have an idea that we're going to be going for like brown and green skins. That's exactly what we're doing here. Glock, I'm going to go for the Oxide Blaze, which is 9 cents in minimum wear. An incredibly cheap skin, but you can see how good this actually works with the glove. So this isn't going to be flashy by any means, but the actual theme itself, I think, comes together so well. For the USP, I decided to go for the flashback. Well, I can say the green isn't a perfect pairing here. It does have that green and that brown vibe. And the fact that this is like 59 cents, call it 60 cents in minimal wear for a skin that you guys know I love. I love the markings on it and like the text has been written onto it. I think this is a pretty neat skin for the price you're paying. Now, for the P2000 enjoyers out there, I didn't have too much, but then I realized that the Lift of Spirits for like the 6 cent point in minimal wear actually works quite nicely for what we're going for because of the brown shading into the brown part of the glove. And then one that I do really like for it, you see it here, it's a factory new Desert Eagle Corinthian. Again, I love that this gets a lighting effect, like this bronzy brown, it gets some sort of lighting effect. It has lots of nice detailing on it, so the price you're paying, $50, looks super good. And then obviously, once again, those brown part of the gloves is pairing in with it so well. Now, for the AK, I have 2 options. The first one was my first one was actually my second option. I wanted to go much more expensive, but I went for the Legion of Anubis here. I will say, this doesn't pair as well as my second suggestion, but considering it's $7 for this browny sort of golden skin, I think it pairs in pretty well. Obviously, if you guys have a preference of something you do that's cheaper, that fits you think better, please let me know in the comments down below. Interested to see that, but the one I initially wanted to plan this loadout around is a well-worn souvenir Panthera Onca. You can see how well this combo sort of works together. Now, the idea for this stemmed back because I unboxed one. I have since sold it, but I unboxed a Panthera Onca doing a case opening. And it's super cool. I really like the skin. And I know Tomtastic, has like these gloves too. And seeing him use it, like this just works so well together. Now, this is a $90 skin. Overall, even with this included, this overall cost is still considerably low. But the Legion of Anubis is the cheaper one. I would recommend, though, the Panthera Onca. You can probably tell where we're going to go with the Emperor ONS. It is going to be the flashback. We're going to pair that with the USP. And again, this is just over $50 in minimal wear. Bit of a no-brainer pick. Now, the pick that I can't lie, I kind of surprised myself with a little bit, as I decided to go for the M4A4 Royal Paladin, because I wanted that sort of golden brown vibes to come in with the gloves, and overall, I think it actually works fairly well. My alternative to this was going to be a Battle Scarred Edgelord, so if you want to save like $15, by all means you can do that, but I never see this skin used in-game. Like, never. So the fact it's $15, comes into budget fairly nicely, has a cheaper alternative if you want to, I'm just really happy to finally get the skin into a loadout. And then the AWP, I think, has a pretty easy pick that doesn't break the bank. A Mortis for $2.45. Heavily leaning on the brown vibe for this, but I do actually quite like the artwork that's on the Mortis. Now, as we get into the more budget filler skins, I wanted to try and mix things up a bit, and I think I've done a decent job at it. Like, for the MP9, I'm going to go for the Army Sheen here, which is 75 cents for minimum wear. This is a skin that I have never really suggested before, never showcased at all, but it actually works quite well with the loadout. And then it's the same for the Mac 10. I'm going to go for a minimal wear pan for 8 cent here. Now, it does take up a bit of a beating. I will say it's not the prettiest skin, but again, when it comes to actually matching the theme, 8 cent to pair with the gloves this well, I'm a big fan of it. For the P250, we do just go cheap and cheerful with a Burial Forest. Obviously, our Burial gloves, it's got a Burial pattern on it. Burial Forest just makes sense, and it's 2 cent. Then we get one of my favorite skins in the game. It's going to be the Tech 9 Mummies Rock for $1.20 in minimum wear. This has the bronze accents. It's got those green accents to it too. So, you know, across the board, I think this is a really nice pairing with the gloves. And then the farmers I do commonly show some love to, it's going to be the Crypsis here. It's 28 cent in minimal wear. I think, again, leaning into those those brown accents, this is a pretty solid fit. Another completely new inclusion is going to be the Very Camo Gale, which is only 12 cent in minimal wear. But there's something about this skin that I don't dislike. Normally I see skins like this, I'd be like, I don't really want to use them. But I think just the pattern, how it pairs with the gloves, the fact that the color palette is a bit different to the other camo patterns we get in CS, I think this is kind of cool for the price. We then spend about 80 cent on the 5.7. It's going to be the body. Now, this is a blue base with that sort of browny top. I think that brown camo top does end up pairing quite well with the gloves. For the Joe Berettas, I end up just going cheap and cheerful. These aren't by no means a perfect mix, but 11 cent for these to somewhat fit in and not be a clash. I'm just going to run with it. We have our second souvenir suggestion, which is going to be for the Lush Runes. I am just showing one without the gold stickers, but minimal wear souvenir for this is like 3 cent, and you get some nice golds on it. And I gotta say, I think with the gloves, this is another one that works quite well. Now, the Stimphilian, one of my favorite AUG skins. You guys should know this by now, but field test of this is only $1. I look through other AUG skins. There's stuff that can kind of fit for it, but I don't like the price, or I just don't like the artwork that much. So I think the gold and that sort of browny bronze effect off it, and the gloves, how it looks here when you're using it in game, I think this is a fine pairing. And you might be able to predict the XM. It is, of course, going to be the Watchdog, mainly because it has brown and it has green. Obviously, it's a different type of green. It's the carved green rather than the camo, but the bronze does kind of match the brown quite well, which means when you're holding it in game, you can see here, I think it holds up pretty well. The MP7, I'm kind of just forced into the Forest DD pack, but I like having a skin for it. You don't use it too much in game. It's only 2 cent for minimal wear. Not going to complain too much. And then, as always, our final skin is going to be the Scout. And I've gone for the Necropos here, which is $1/2 for minimal wear, which is a Scout skin I actually quite like. I like very similar to the Mummies Rock. I like that sort of browny accent with the green that stands out on it. And I think it works great for this overall theme of the loadout and the gloves particularly. So, overall, cost of this loadout. If you went for the Legion of Anubis of the AK, the total cost of this loadout is $328, with the combination costing about $287 off it, so you're spending about $40 on the weapon skins themselves. Personally, I think it is worth going for the Panthera Onca upgrade. Now, it is pretty much like $80 more expensive than the Legion of Anubis, which means this takes us to about a $420 loadout if you went for the Panthera Onca. But $420 for a good knife and glove combo like this with an A tier knife, getting a great AK skin that's quite unique, you don't see too much in game, plus everything else pairing in quite nicely with it. I'm really happy with this, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this gives some inspiration into slightly different loadouts that you guys can consider, and I'm going to aim to do more of that in the future. I'm going to end it there. Just remember that we have the giveaway running, so make sure you enter that, and make sure you're in giveaway so you can claim the prize. And then finally, just a big thank you to the YouTube members that continue to support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If you're not aware by this point, being a YouTube member is the best way to directly support me and the content I'm making, so check it out by hitting that join button down below. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.